Hey guys, we've got the new iPad Pro 2 12.9-inch device that just came out a couple of days ago, and kind of want to give you a first impression of what I'm thinking about this device. It's obviously not a cheap purchase. I think they start at $800. Let's see. Okay, we're in Safari. Yeah, so these devices started at about $800 for the 12.9-inch display, compared to $650 for the new 10.5-inch iPad Pro. So this is a pretty expensive device, and you have to really be sure that you're going to get the right amount of value when you're paying that sort of money for an iPad. The good news is that I'm actually blown away by this device so far. Little background on me is that I really haven't used iOS before. I don't have an iPhone. I had an iPad mini a couple of years ago, but the screen cracked really quickly and I just never really got much use out of it after that. But I'm back in, I'm really excited, and from an artist perspective, this device is unbelievable. But first, let me just show you the browser a little quick. You can see how smooth it is. Everything is just enjoyable to touch. This feels almost like a piece of magic in my hand. You know, it's so slight, so thin. You can see it's just a slim device, and it's very sleek. It's very light, but at the same time, this is larger than the 10.5-inch display. Not quite as portable. I actually was tempted by the 10.5. I think for most people it's going to be a better form factor, but for me, being really wanting to focus on sort of the digital art and painting and illustration and being creative, I felt like I would get more use out of the 10.9-inch display, which gives you more room to work, a bigger canvas, so to speak. So that's really why I went with the 12.9-inch display. Overall, I am enjoying this. I've only downloaded a couple of apps. I've only been playing around for about an hour, but I wanted to give you a real quick sort of how am I feeling after spending so much money on this device. And I'm loving it. You can see I've got Procreate, I've got YouTube downloaded. You know, Procreate's awesome. That'll be for another video. We'll be digging deeply into this and really getting into Procreate, as well as Affinity Photo, which is another you know, creative application by Affinity, and I have some of their applications on Mac, which I love. So loving this so far, but I'll save that for the future. And you can see it comes with iMovie, GarageBand. You've got you know, numbers. You've got Pages, iTunes University. You've got a podcast app. Of course, the camera. I believe it's the same as the new iPhone 7. So you know the camera is going to be really great if that's what you want to do with your iPad. I think for me, it's from an artist perspective, it's going to be nice to be able to take a source image and just use this beautiful camera, and it'll be nice and quick, and then you can save it and kind of use it as a reference. So yeah, I haven't even set up Mail or some of the other things yet. Check out the App Store. It's got all kinds of applications and games. Everything is fast. And one thing I was worried about was were applications going to be in tune with the 12.9-inch, you know, being that maybe it's not as popular as the 10.5-inch, but from what I could tell so far, from the small set, I've been, you know, obviously YouTube looks perfect. And so really happy with that. I mean, it works absolutely perfectly, like it was made specifically for this device. And same with Procreate. Same with Procreate. Create a new app, create a new size, and in you go, and you can finger paint if you want. Or we've got the Apple Pencil, which is, you know, a great, absolutely phenomenal device. If you're an artist, you already know about this, and you know, you can really get deeply into this. We're not really going to do too much, but here's a pencil. You know, so you can do all different kinds of things. One thing I like about the Apple Pencil is that, you know, okay, so it is the Apple Pencil and sort of designed for probably artists, but it works just in general. I mean, you can sort of do everything you can do with a finger with the Apple Pencil, and in some cases it even works better. So you've got your news. Turn that off. You can scroll through pages, and you can click links. Don't even quite know what I'm clicking at this point, but you could see that everything is really nice, just scrolling through with the pencil. So, really excited. You can zoom in, zoom out with multi-touch, although not so much on this. Oh, there we go. Get full screen with the image. So, pretty cool. One thing I did want to share is that, so I pre-ordered this from Best Buy, and I've always had good experiences with Best Buy, but one of the reasons I went with them this time was because there was a $50 gift card for pre-ordering this device. And I said, great, okay, we'll do that. There's a Best Buy near me. So I went in that direction, but I had some issues. Right off the bat, they weren't able to charge me Apple Care the first day of purchasing this. There was some kind of glitch in the computer system, and after waiting around for half an hour, they told me to just come back the next day, and they would add Apple Care. And they told me if anything happened to the device in between, you know, they would take care of it. That was fine. I came back the next day. They were able to add Apple Care, but I also happened to have my gift card that came in the mail, a physical gift card, and for whatever reason, that did not show up in their system. They said it was blank. They said it was, you know, empty, had no credit on it. And so, you know, I was kind of getting weird glances walking up with an empty gift card trying to use it, and they started asking me how I got it, and, you know, usually they send digital gift cards and not physical for this type of thing, and it got a little weird. I ended up walking out of Best Buy almost feeling like, feeling a little bit like a criminal, or treated like a criminal, and it was a little weird. It was fine, you know. I ended up calling customer service, like the guy said, and they ended up they're sending me a new gift card. But it was a weird experience, especially for, you know, such an expensive device. You don't really want to have like any sort of negative experience. But on the flip side, I also got a when I purchased this, a sort of a screen protector, knowing that I was going to be using the pencil a lot. And the Best Buy only charged, I think they charged like $10 to install the screen. So for $10, I figured, you know what, let me go for it and get the screen protector put in professionally. I didn't have to mess around with, what do they say, you have to go into the bathroom and get a steamy, you know, start a hot shower and then put your screen protector on to get all the lint out, or dust. But this was perfect. There was one little piece of dust that the guy had under there, but for me, I can barely even see it, so I'm really not worried about it. Actually, I don't even know where it is, over here somewhere. So, really enjoying this so far. I feel like, you know, after messing around with Procreate, watching a couple videos on YouTube, just the overall experience, going into iMovie, knowing how powerful this is, and that I can actually create some, you know, potentially I can create some of these YouTube videos using iMovie right here on the iPad Pro. You know, it's just very cool. Create a movie, go through different things. So I really feel like I'm getting a lot of value out of this. I was kind of worried. I mean, it is a lot of money, but the experience with the Apple Pencil combined with Procreate, combined with watching movies, the browsing experience is the best browsing experience I've ever had. It really makes browsing the internet and the web feels a little bit different. You know, it has like a tactile, like you're digging a little deeper, because you're using your hands to really get into it, and resizing things and all of that. So really enjoying it. But this is perfect. I like the bezels. I think they don't bother me at all, actually. I think it's perfect. I think I like it better with the bezels rather than being bezel-less. I mean, obviously you need it for this fingerprint scanner. But I think this device works with the bezels. I mean, you kind of do want something on the edge to separate sort of your inner canvas and your inner screen. And one other thing I would say is that the battery life seems pretty good so far. I have not charged it yet, so this is out of the box. You can see it's still got 54%, and that's off the initial charge that came with the device. So the battery life actually seems really great, even when watching videos and doing some artwork pieces and testing around in Procreate and various things, of course, clicking some of the other things. Battery life seems like it's going to be surprisingly good. I guess maybe I'm used to my phone, which battery life is not so great, but definitely seems better on this device, and it should. you know, at starting at $800. You know, I think about the size of this device, at 12.9 inch, it's just about the same size as my 13-inch MacBook Pro in terms of the screen surface area. And of course, the 12.9 is the diagonal size. And but when I think about my commute in the morning on the train, this feels a little too big to take with me. I'm probably not going to take that with me. I'll still stick with my phone. So one thing I wanted to show you was that, you know, you can see I have a lot of different screens open. I've got, you know, the home page, the clock, Procreate's open. I've got a calendar, iMovie's open, news, YouTube, App Store, Safari with multiple tabs. And this is buttery smooth. I mean, this could not be smoother. It really couldn't. No jitter, no lag whatsoever with all these apps open. And it's absolutely fast. You know, I think some of the raw horsepower, I saw some numbers on a site somewhere saying that this was actually faster than my 2015 MacBook Pro, which is amazing if true in this small footprint, this small, thin device. Definitely quickly becoming a huge fan of this device. Looking forward to really sinking my teeth into all the different things, particularly Procreate, Affinity Designer, and really getting into it and getting a workflow going. But for right now, I'm very pleased with this. Everything works perfectly, and really enjoying it. So I think that's what I wanted to cover. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more art and you know, creative visuals and that sort of thing. I'm going to be building this channel up. We're going to do a lot of art, a lot of painting, a lot of drawing. I'm hoping to build a community here to enjoy this experience with me. So hope you'll join. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have an iPad Pro, hope you're enjoying it. I'm sure you are. And I'd love to hear your comments below. You know, really haven't found anything I don't like about this just yet. Although I'm sure I will with any new device, new technology. There's always going to be some downsides, but pretty happy with this so far. Even at the money that I spent for it, it feels like I've got my old Wacom Cintiq back. You know, I can do what I need in this art program, and super excited about it. Feels like a piece of magic. So.